In this video guys, I'm gonna share with you how I make my travel videos so you can learn at least how you could do them, how to plan, how to film, and how to edit a travel film. Plus, I'm gonna give you some examples about equipment that you could use. So this is kind of behind the scenes of how I record my videos at home. Right now it's looking like terrible, so you can see it's pretty messy. It's pretty messy all this here around. But yeah, I'm gonna put the links down below just in case you want to check them out. If this is the first time they're watching a video like this, my name is Alexr. I'm a travel vlogger and content creator basically, who wants to share with you guys every place I visit. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss anything. First of all, how do you plan a travel video? When we travel, there's something that we cannot control: weather and lighting, which are very important. So I would highly recommend you guys to plan your video as close as you can to the final result that you want to get. This is called plan to edit. You need to know in advance how the video will look like, so that's how you will plan it. That's how you script the video. So probably the place that you're going to be visiting is going to be the first time. I would highly recommend you guys to do a research about the place that you want to go, so then you can start planning and scripting the video. Plan your videos in order to get different situations. Get some b-rolls, detailed shots, good moments, and try to always shoot guys in different angles. If you love guys and knowing exactly how I play my travel videos, just let me know in the comments below so I can make a specific video about it. Next step, shoot it. And a pro tip that I want to give you just right now is shoot guys as much as you can, because you never know what's going to happen next. And if it's possible, try to shoot the same thing in different hours. For example, if you go to a spot that is pretty crowded and you go a different hour, maybe it's going to be more empty, or the lighting is going to be completely different. But in my experience, if you shoot same thing in different times, you're going to have more options when it comes to editing later. A pro tip that I want to give you guys is that you should wake up earlier than most people would do, because probably the place that you're going to be visiting, if it's a tourist destination, is going to be pretty crowded. So try to wake up pretty early in the morning, or otherwise you can go late at night, but lighting is going to be going down, so pay attention to that. Another pro tip that I want to give you guys: if your camera do 120 frames per second, do that, because you don't want to be exchanging the frames rate. So if you can shoot at 60 frames per second and you can do slow-mo, that's going to be amazing. But it's up to you guys. Maybe you want to shoot 24 because you're looking for more natural motion. You're going to have probably a tour guide who's going to be guiding you to the spot that you're going to be traveling to, right? So try to ask in advance to the tour guide, hey, I want to film this. Which are the best time to get here? How is going to be the weather situation? What would you recommend me to get there? I mean, blah blah blah. You can communicate. I mean, if you communicate well, the tour guide is going to help you. The final result is going to be as close as you thought. Now let's talk about the editing process. Editing, guys, is everything. Sometimes you have like a garbage footage, and if you edit well, you can do almost whatever you want. Now sometimes you have the best camera, the best equipment ever, the best footage, and you don't know how to edit all this stuff, you know. But I'm gonna give you some tips. When you edit, the first thing and the only thing that you're gonna be thinking about is emotion. So that's what you want to people have through the camera, right? Think about that. Think about emotions. I would say that the most important part of editing a travel video is to make people, or the viewer in this case, to be part of the video. In my case, when I travel, I love to, you know, shoot travel videos, but at the same time, my style is a little bit more like a vlogger. I film a lot of my face and I talked a lot to the camera. If that's not your case, what you could do is that you could shoot a lot of b-rolls, headshots, details, people, and then combine all this footage thinking about the story that you want to tell. Now let's talk about, I know you've been waiting for the gear that I use and the gear that you should use as well. In my case, for example, guys, the camera that I'm currently using is the Canon 200D, which in this moment is not like it's working perfectly. Hopefully you're watching this video now, but a few days ago it was working and then stopped working. It was turning on, turning off. It was crazy. I had to go to a workshop and they had no solution for this. They said that the microchip inside of the camera was crap, but now it's working. But so far, hopefully I can keep creating content this week. I don't want to go outside, but the main point here is that if you want to get a camera, you can use your cell phone, don't get me wrong. But for professional work, I don't like to use the cell phone. And YouTube is my business. part of my YouTube. I take YouTube seriously, and as a filmmaker, I don't want to be using cell phone. At least not this one, because it's not the best. Okay. So camera, you could use the same Canon 200D, which is awesome. I'm gonna put the links down below so you can get. If you're only thinking about video, go for Sony or maybe a Canon R, I don't know, 5, but it's quite expensive. It's up to you. It depends about the budget that you have. I'm gonna put some links down below so you can check them out and different options, okay? But when it comes to camera, I highly recommend you guys to get a camera that you feel comfortable with, okay? For example, in this case, I know this camera very well. I've been using this camera for over 2 years now, and I love it. It's pretty simple, pretty basic, but for me, for what I do, it's amazing. I don't use a GoPro, which most people do when they travel, because I love to be switching lenses, because I love to be getting details. Even though I have some GoPro, I have a GoPro Hero 4. There's so many options that you can go with, but it's up to you if you want to go for a DSLR camera, mirrorless, or GoPro. Again, I'm gonna put the links down below. The mic that I'm currently using is the mic they're seeing right now, which is the Rode Mic Pro. I mean, I've been using this mic for a long period of time, almost 2 years. The only downside of this mic is that it has batteries, so you gotta be replacing the battery sometimes. But it's $200, is a bit expensive. There's so many options, super cheap and super affordable, and Rode as well. Or you can go for DD, or you can go for any other options. Then I'm gonna put the links down below. But yeah, pay attention. You have to use a mic. I've never seen a camera with a good audio quality, even though super expensive camera, audio quality inside of the camera, it sucks. When I travel, I don't use tripod. It's pretty heavy. It's not for traveling. There's some options, and I'm gonna put the link again. But I don't like using tripod. I mean, I don't want to be wasting time putting the camera and this crazy stuff. I will highly recommend you to get like a switch pod or something like this that you can use in, you know, traveling. Or another thing that you could use is this. This is my new baby. This is the DJI Ronin SC, and as you can tell, it's a gimbal. I love gimbals. I've never used one before. Actually, this is my first gimbal ever, but it rocks. I mean, for what I do, for what I do is awesome. I mean, it's gonna save you a lot of time. It depends about what you want to shoot. If you want to get some steady shots, that's the best. This is for specific shots that you want to get, but for cinematic travel videos and this crazy stuff, you need one of this. This is the best in my opinion. It's only $270, which is amazing for the price. Or if you have a lot of money to spend on this or to invest in one of this, you can get the Ronin SC2, which is awesome, but I think it's over $1,000 now. This, guys, is a Nando Filter. This is basically like putting a sunglass to your lens. Let me show you very quickly. This is how it will look. This is an example, okay? For example, let's say that you are outside and it's pretty sunny. What you could do is that you can turn this way and it get darker, as you can tell. And it's pretty easy to use. I highly recommend it to be using one of this. Again, links down. Another thing that you cannot miss is one of this. Actually, this is brand new. One of you guys brought me this from Canada. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. This is an SD holder, SD case, and as you can tell, I have all my SD memories here. This is pretty awesome for saving. This one in this case is water resistant, dust resistant, which is pretty awesome. So you can be like going around without worrying about if you're gonna lose any footage, because you have a lot of SD card. Battery charger, which in my opinion is pretty well. It does a pretty good job, and it's pretty cheap. I think it's of course it depends about the camera that you're using, but in this case this one was like $30, something like that. And if you want to get an original, it's gonna cost you like $60 or something like that. Crazy. So I do prefer this, but it's pretty awesome. At the end, guys, it's up to you about how professional do you want to get the job done. I have a good friend of mine, Glenn Forster. Actually, if you haven't seen a travel video that we did, it was kind of a review that we did in Cayo Coco, right here, one of the best spots right here in Cuba. He used GoPro, but he did this as, you know, almost as a hobby. But he does a really good job. What do you want to get at the end? Do you want to do this professionally? Are you a filmmaker? Are you do you travel solo? Do you travel with a team? There are so many things that goes around when it comes to traveling and filming a travel video. But if you want me, guys, to do a more specific video about planning with you, of course, like scripting a travel video about specific things that you should be paying attention to, just let me know. I could do that. I love traveling and I love filming whatever I go. Actually, that's my job. Another friend of mine, Emily Taylor, she launched a Gofundme because I'm trying to upgrade the camera and fix this. I don't know what's gonna happen, but so far it's doing a pretty good job. Hopefully it's gonna work. Actually, I had a trip at one of the most beautiful cities right here in Cuba, and I had to cancel the trip because the camera was having problems. If you want to support me, if you want to help me to get the new camera, go to Gofundme. I mean, the first link is gonna be down below. You can go and you can donate, I don't know, 20 bucks. It's gonna help me a lot. So guys, as I mentioned it, if you want to see an example of a review travel video that you could do, you can watch this playlist right here, because I have tons of video like similar to what I highly recommend you to do. Mix between vlogs and travel experiences.